There was a crime that was committed in broad daylight by what seemed like an everyday transaction that happens hundreds of times here in the Metro Phoenix area. By the way, here's a mugshot. There has been an arrest announced. This is the major update in this case. So here's what happened. There was a teenage boy or man, 19 years old, who had agreed to meet up with police say the man that you just saw on your screen there. Prosecutors now saying that Fernando Gallegos is the one who shot and killed 19-year-old Dominique Basinger. Now, Basinger was there in the parking lot at the Tempe Marketplace, Sky Fox flying overhead. If you're not familiar with this story, it just seemed as though middle of the day, public area, you're going to agree to meet online and do your transaction. Matter of fact, the report said that Basinger was there with his girlfriend who unfortunately, no doubt, saw this go down and I'm sure is dealing with the shock of it afterwards. But the victim, who was gunned down in this parking lot, had agreed to exchange some money and a ring for a gun. Prosecutors say that the cash bond, they wanted a cash bond of more than $1 million because of kind of the heinous nature of the crime. And as we kind of dug into it yesterday, at that point, there was no word that an arrest was coming, but prosecutors said it was and they're going for a first-degree murder charge here, that they wanted a $1 million bond, $1 million plus, saying the crime had been meticulously planned. It turned out $1.2 million, which is what the judge granted in the state's request. Those are the pictures, once again, from the, frankly, really shocking scene of the crime. Now, what's so interesting about this is that yesterday in our 11:30 half hour, and I know some people watch at 10, 10:30, maybe you didn't catch it at 11:30, but we were live with the Tempe Police Department's public information officer, and she had some things to say regarding trying to sell things online and meeting up in person. Here's a little bit more of that, what she had to say in that interview that I think maybe we could all learn from.
And what we do know thus far is that there was an online sale or transaction happening here at a very busy spot in town. So I'm sure this couple was thinking, you know what, this is a good spot. It's very public. There's people around. But what advice can you give as we head into, the holiday season and folks might be doing more of these online sale and transaction? Where is a safe place to conduct business like this?
Right. So really the best place to do business is online, right? If you can get that item shipped to you, that would really be the best. If you could, some platforms actually do allow you to have shipping. That's what we really encourage. If that is something you can't do, we would suggest, again, going into that public space, making sure it's during the day, well-lit area. If you can actually go into the business, if it's a smaller item, that would be best. But ideally, we really don't want people to meet in person and just prefer to do that shipping.
So how about that for some interesting perspective? And once again, the word of the arrest came in overnight. And then we had the initial appearance, which you saw. There's the video right there with the attorney and the man who is accused in this case of pulling the trigger. So again, Fernando Gallegos is his name, innocent till proven guilty in this country. We'll see how the court case proceeds. But Syleste joins this morning. Syleste.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
I do think it's really interesting that here we had a police spokesperson saying maybe what you thought is really not okay, because they say meet up
in a popular place.
Do it during the day in broad daylight in a place where you know there are going to be people around. That's kind of been a common way of thinking.
There is some concern. There were more than one person.
Sure, the girlfriend was there.
So they kind of covered their bases when it comes to that.
Yeah.
I think it was interesting, though. Wasn't it a switch? It was like the gun for
some cash and a ring.
Yeah. And so maybe if it's and I think the weapon thing also, if you're looking to purchase a weapon, maybe that's not wise to do so, because
that one really makes sense.
Well,
ship that.
Well,
right?
and I think it makes it's very different from, hey, I want to buy baby clothes, or I want to buy a snowsuit for my child, or something like, or a scooter.
And she even brought up furniture and things like that. Totally fine.
One thing that I have heard from someone as well who kind of watches, they sell a lot online, is if they find somebody else within the city who wants to purchase something, they said, okay, we'll leave the $20 underneath the doormat and I'll leave it on the side of the house, or leave it out in my front porch of my apartment or condo. And then the person will come and get it. So there's no physical interaction.
Yeah.
But I think there is something to be said for, you really want to make sure that you're safe. You know, I mean, your life is really important.
Yeah, well, Melinda is saying right now, we're just looking at some of your early comments here. I'm going to slide over just a little bit more like this. But here's Melinda. She says, I hate to just say I'm staying home from now on, but it's just too crazy out there to be going places. It's understandable that people feel that way.
Well, and I think it's not just in this type of a scenario, but I think we've seen it with like road rage situations on our streets.
Sure.
It's
Can I offer a tip on that, by the way,
Yeah,
Celeste?
go ahead, Ron.
Don't make eye contact.
No.
Especially if you have an aggressive driver. I swear every day, at least once, somebody, and I drive pretty fast, but there's always somebody bearing down on me.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to pull over and, try to alleviate the situation. I'm like, I don't know why you're being so aggressive.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make a bit of sense to make eye contact with the other driver.
And, we have a couple of other comments on here, and it says, Jennifer says, buying off one of a stranger like a weapon, probably not the best idea these days. No. And Little Philosophy says, gun transaction, oh, wow. And Emperor Ivan, it says, never sell weapons like that. If the person can't get it in a show or through a dealer, something is wrong.
Yeah, and the whole idea that we heard from the PIO there in Tempe saying, go inside a business somewhere, talk to the business ahead of time. Now, if it's a gun situation, most businesses would probably say, no way, get out of here. But maybe if it were to be a more secure, and they said, it's okay to go to the police department. They're aware that people do these transactions in the parking lot of the police station.
That's
or
interesting.
at your local substation.
Yeah.
Or some people have even gone inside. Tell the police what they're doing there. Make sure it's okay with them. You're not going to have a problem if you're in the lobby of the police station.
No, not at all. And I think it's important, too, if there is a situation where you have to, you want to sell something. I sold my wheels of my car. I got new wheels not too long ago.
You did?
And I sold my wheels to...
You're talking about the actual wheels, not the tires.
The rims. I sold my rims. Yeah, my wheels. So my rims.
Celeste, by the way, has got a deal on some rims that you might be interested in.
No, they're sold already. They're sold.
Oh, no, I'm kidding, but still. Good for you, Celeste.
So they were OEM, and so it was like they were on the vehicle when I purchased it. But this is what I did, is that I called my dad and Gary, and I said, can I have you guys on the phone when I'm doing the transaction? The gentleman and his son came to pick him up. They were for his son, who's 18, his
I would
vehicle.
have rather had one of them in person,
I know. But with my work schedule and driving the kids around, I was like, I got to get it done at 2 o'clock. The guy seemed legit. I looked him up online.
Okay.
So anyways, I think it's really wise, though, to have somebody else. And it truly depends on what the item is.
Well, you can always call your friend the Hooner.
Yeah.
If Big Gare's tied up and your dad, too.
Well, I had them on the phone.
That's good.
I had him on the phone and I had him on speaker while I was talking to the guy. And here's
I worry about you, Celeste. Come on, we got to keep the pod going.
Well, you know what? There was times where Gary's like, honey, you need to slow your roll. Like if I see somebody that's very doesn't look like they're my neighbor.
Yeah.
And I'll drive up to him and say, hi, how are you? Are you new to the neighborhood? Welcome.
Oh,
and
sort of an unofficial block watch captain.
I am.
I believe you could be doing that, Celeste. I can see you peering through the curtains at about 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, you rolling through our hood, and you are new. Don't worry, I'm going to figure it out. Troy says I've sold baseball cards in person, nothing too crazy. I think that's probably pretty wise. It wasn't too crazy. Okay. And then Troy also says Celeste rolling on 24s.
I know.
Yes.
How about that?
Troy.
Okay, she's got a deal on rims. That might be your big takeaway for today. So this situation is nuts, if you ask me, Celeste. We love the Grand Canyon here at Fox 10. We've all been there multiple times. It truly is one of the great national, really one of the worldwide wonders, I think, especially if you've never seen it before. It's so cool to take someone there and to just watch them react to where they really can't believe what they're seeing.
Yeah.
I can't believe what I'm hearing here. How did the situation get so dilapidated at the Grand Canyon that they're having to shut down the hotels because there have been continual issues with the water line up there?
Right.
Well, let's get it fixed.
Well, I think in one of the announcements they also made was limit laundry. And I thought that is not something you want to do when you're up hiking the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, but you know what?
Or if you're not entirely doing a long hike, you're just, you just get your clothes dirty.
Major John Wesley Powell, he didn't have a laundromat. I mean, he had to float. He was the first guy to raft the Grand Canyon, hiked around. No laundromat. It's okay.
Maybe he washed him down in the river, Ron.
He probably did. Anyway, we have reached out to the Park Service. We got to get an explanation. Hopefully by later today, they'll call us back and we can chat with them tomorrow. But there have been a series of breaks in the 12-mile-long Trans Canyon water line. So overnight facilities are being shut down, including hotels. Camping is only going to be dry camping. Mm-hmm. People outside the park are being asked to limit their water use. And yeah, you're right. Take shorter showers, do fewer loads of laundry. That's outside of the park, right? So if you're over at Tucson or something like that, it's just a problem. And they've got to get it solved because I think we've all known there have been water issues at the Grand Canyon for a long time. Okay, so hopefully we're able to get a little more of an answer. I know that our executive producer has been reaching out, hoping to hear from some of them. I got the hold on.
Oh wow!
I don't got the Dave Cam.
I think that's Phoenix.
All right. Anyway, here's your mystery cam, everybody. Take a look at this. What beautiful berg is this? Give us your guesses. Back in 2 minutes. Yeah, so we love to read your comments. Of course, this is the time that everybody gives us their guesses, but I also like On QAZ, who jumped in to say, hey, I missed y'all. Been trying not to watch so much news, but I miss you guys so much. Here I am.
Aww.
Have a great day. And by the way, I always meet up at a police station.
That's really smart.
It really
It's
is.
very, very smart. And we have I don't know if it's a new chatter or not, but Cornelius says, St. Augustine, Florida, 100%. It sounds like maybe he or she knows where this is located. If you're new to the chat, let us know where you're watching from. And we love the fact that so many of you are on. We have numbers growing right now. And thank you for liking the video.
Nice,
yeah.
Celeste.
Thank you for liking the video as well. You see that right underneath there. You can give us a thumbs up and even share the chat as well. And folks are talking cereal this morning. And, I know we talk about news here in Foxton Talks, but Ron and I love the fact that we also talk about things like the mystery camera, which you just saw.
Correct.
We also have lots of talkers and important like news that you can use. And sometimes we bring you a little laugh, too. We have a chuckle that we bring you as well. Right, Ron? This is a safe space.
Oh, yeah. It's a safe space and a sometimes somewhat hilarious space.
Yeah,
I would say.
Absolutely. Okay, do you have a guess on the mystery cam?
This St. Augustine, the thing is, I've been to St. Augustine. Of course, in the downtown, it's all historic. It dates back hundreds of years.
Right.
So maybe out on the edge of town, it looks like that. Are you going to go Florida?
I'm going to go Florida.
All right.
I
will
thinking
go.
The same as all of you.
I've seen a few other guesses. I like California as an option, maybe along the Gulf Coast. So
let's
take
one more gander at that shot,
let's
Ron.
Gander at it.
Gander.
The goose and the gander. I'm trying to look at the highway signs over there to the right at the intersection.
Clues.
What could it be?
I don't know, but is that a bus down to the bottom left? Says 45 on it. Not sure what that is.
Yeah.
But folks are in bikes. It looks like a bit windy, so possibly that ocean breeze.
Now hold on one moment, Celeste. I've just seen something that's going to change my guess. Over to the left, I see some hills behind the American flag.
Okay.
And to me, there's just almost no hills in Florida. So I am going to go California.
All right.
You're going Florida.
And AZ Raider says Anytown, USA. Here is your mystery camera.
Good.
And
oh boy, the tension.
St. Augustine, Florida.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
Yes.
All right, you guys got it right on target. There it is.
Absolutely. Beautiful shot there in St. Augustine. You guys were totally on it.
Yeah.
Congratulations to all the winning guessers.
Yeah, I was there and I never saw a hill. But apparently there's one or a couple.
So here's a quick note from Brandy the Bookworm on our topic that we had at the top of the show. But I've bought and sold a lot from Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp. Always take someone with me and usually meet up at the front of Circle K's, 7-Elevens, best spot for cameras. And we mentioned it already, but you can go to a police station and do it there as well.
That's the one thing I thought about in this case. Hey, Big D, when you get 30 seconds, something about this shot is concerning me. And so
I think it's a great shot of your shoulder,
can't
actually.
quite put my finger on it there. But anyway, it's actually an excellent shot.
You didn't put your finger on it, but you put your shoulder on it.
Put your shoulder to the wheel.
Shimmy.
Push along.
So great. Ron, do you want to talk about this Durant story?
Yeah, but I did want to have one
go ahead,
point
go
there,
ahead.
which is one of my reactions was, I've been to that Tempe marketplace many, many times, and I'm familiar with that parking lot. And you can get far enough away, like if you were on the far edge of that parking lot, where you're like 100 yards away from where anybody else is going to be, because everybody parks as close to the stores as they can. You go to the far side of that parking lot, you are somewhat isolated. So like what Brandy was just saying, do it right in front of a convenience store.
Yeah.
There are going to be people coming and going all the time.
And just don't buy weapons online.
Yeah, there you are.
Or sell them for that matter. You never know who's going to meet you.
Yeah, there you go. But Celeste, I do want to talk about this. I know you're excited too. This almost to me has almost like a Sinatra Rat Pack kind of feel. This was the ultimate kind of 50s 60s style steakhouse that never really changed its ways. We were concerned that Dorrance was just going to shut down. But I think it's the owners of Steak 44, right? That bought it?
It is. And for a lot of you who've been in the Valley, and for those of you who maybe aren't here, you're around the world, we have viewers around the world.
Yep.
Durant's was, back in the 1950s, was the place where politicians and even mobsters had met and had drinks in the bar. It was where deals were done.
Right.
It's kind of this, like, there's a lot of history to this place. And you just saw the bar there, and the bar has this red velvet on the walls. Here's a look at the restaurant.
And I just saw Ty in that video, so he's been known to hang out there.
Yeah. Gary and I used to go all the time. We'd ride our bikes down there on like a Saturday,
how
early.
great.
And it was really cool. All the waiters had been there for like 30 years.
Yeah.
And nothing had really ever changed.
Yeah. Well,
you walked through the kitchen to get in.
Here's why we're talking about it. They've set their grand opening. It's going to be December the 17th. And so you better believe that we are going to try every single day between now and the 17th to see if we can't get a Zoom with them and maybe get a little bit of a sneak peek live look around, in the next few days, because excitement's building. I mean, I'm sure they're going to keep the same look, but with a little bit of an upgrade, because Steak 44, I mean, they got a great reputation.
Yeah. Durant says, Big D.
Yeah.
Have you been to Durant's, Dave? Yeah, yeah.
Oh, now,
it's such a cool spot. We couldn't hear you there for a second.
Give me a 1, 2, 3, Dave.
Hello. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
No.
Oh, I can hear him a little bit. No?
I just hear
If you guys in the chat can let us know, do you hear Big D?
Okay, here we go. Yeah, we're testing the Dave cam. It's amazing that, and now I'm going to punch back
Listen
to the
this.
two-shot.
Well, you're figuring that out, Ron. I'm going to read this comment from Troy. He said, my fiance took my parents there 3 years ago. We get to look at his handsome mug.
Sorry,
look at this
Dave.
mug.
I've lost control.
Hold it all day. Dave can hold it all day. My fiance, Troy, says, took my parents there 3 years ago for my dad's 70th. He said it's the best steak he ever had in his life, a memory forever. And no, we cannot hear Dave, according to Lil Philosophy.
Yeah, but I can just visualize some of the meals he's had over the years getting deals done.
Yeah.
Think about when, various TV stations are applying for his services. And one comes at him with $1 million, the other's 1.5. You know what I mean, Dave? Let's try it. No, I can't even punch that up.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
What was really cool at Durant's, and maybe you remember this, Ron, when you first sat down, they brought out this little plate of veggies.
Oh, yes, right.
And it was like 2 olives, a couple of radish.
Sure. A couple of pickles.
And a couple of celery sticks.
Yeah, sure.
And they drizzled it with a little bit of olive oil. And it just is like, I hear from the men that the urinals had ice in them.
Yeah.
Like, it just was like a glance back to like the former days of the Valley. And I'm so happy that they're going to preserve it and for generations to come.
Yep.
It's
All right.
so great.
So let's talk some politics here, because President Trump is, I'm going to cross my fingers here that this is going to work, VO6. There we go. It's the Dulles Airport, which was this futuristically designed airport back in the 1960s that I absolutely nominate as the worst airport in America. Turns out President Trump says they got to fix it. It's, quote, incorrectly designed. And if you've never been there, here's why. The plane lands and the plane comes to a stop and you're like, great, it'll take me another about 30 to 60 seconds to get off the plane and I'll be on my way.
Yes.
Oh, no. You have to wait for a futuristic bus that is on scissor lifts.
Okay.
That lifts up. You all have to cram into it. So you're more crowded there like sardines than you were on the plane.
That's a bummer.
And then you have to wait for this ridiculous pod to take you all the way across the tarmac so you can actually get going where you're going. It's horrible. So if you had to say which is the worst airport in America, I would say this one in a heartbeat, Celeste. Now, I haven't flown into LaGuardia or Newark in a long time. I know people complain. I know LaGuardia, they had a complete redo. So
people actually love LaGuardia now.
I am not a big fan also of DFW because did they have to build it? Like, what is it, 5,000 acres? I mean, just to get from gate, in Concourse A over to Concourse C, it's going to take you a half an hour. I actually
Yes.
tried walking at one time rather than
Oh.
waiting for the people mover.
Okay.
I mean, it was about
Did you
a
get there?
half-hour
Did you get there before the people mover did?
walk. Probably. Anyway, so they're going to make that big change, and we're going to watch to see how it goes. Now,
So you think this is the worst airport in the country?
Yeah, I really do.
It's
ridiculous
I've
what
never
you have to go through
I've
to get
never
off a plane.
flown into Dulles.
Yeah.
Dulles.
Dulles.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I always fly if I'm going to DC into Baltimore.
Good for you.
It's cheaper.
It is cheaper.
It's a lot cheaper. I feel like one of the worst airports is LAX. And here's why. Because you have to jump on that bus
Yeah.
and to get to the rental car. And they stop at every single
Terminal,
curb.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, but
Right.
it's like even several curbs
Sure.
at one terminal.
And they can't figure out the traffic there.
No.
So it's stop and go for an hour just to get out of there and get over to the lot.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
I
an
agree.
hour to get to the rental car.
I agree.
So thank goodness for the SkyTrain here in Phoenix.
Yeah. All right. Big story in the world of politics, and it has to do with the state of Tennessee. This is the guy. He did win that special election. Democrats were hoping for the upset primarily because there was one poll that came out 2 days before the vote on Sunday, before yesterday's Tuesday vote, that said the Republican was ahead by only 2 points. And it was a little bit of an outlier. Most of the polls showed he was up anywhere from 6 to 10 points, and that actually was more accurate. There he is with a kiss from his wife and addressing the crowd last night. His name is Matt Van Epps. Nevertheless, he won it by almost 10 percentage points, by 9 points. But it was a district that Donald Trump had carried in the 2024 election by 22 points. So it brings up this topic. What do you think? Is this a bad sign? Is the GOP in trouble? Yes, say 34% of you. 2026 is going to be bad for them. And by the way, Trump hasn't fixed the economy yet. 65% are saying, nope, everything that he put into place this year will pay off next year. And then 1% says, really, honestly, just being a straight shooter here, it's a close call. GOP only has to lose a few seats. Celeste,
Wow,
what do you see?
we have huge numbers here on YouTube. We've got about 30 seconds here to get you the
Wow.
details
Yeah.
on this one. So 49 minutes ago, we posted this 1.1 thousand votes. I just
Gee
refreshed
whiz.
this one.
Wow.
And here are the latest numbers right now. So yes, 60% of you say 2026 will be bad for them. Trump has not fixed the economy. 30% say no, everything Trump's put into place will pay off next year. And 11% of you say a close call. GOP only has to lose a few seats to lose the House. I know we're running out of time, but 65 comments. Maybe we'll get to Big D a little bit later, but 65 comments on this one right now.
That was a very subtle tease for Big D, on the Dave Cam. And we're going to make that work. We got a plan.
We've got people behind the scenes working the situation.
We'll be right back. Yeah, I'm testing right now. Punching the Dave Cam button, nothing.
We're
But
crying.
do not fear.
We'll cry.
We got the top people on it. Syleste, one of my
Yes.
favorite people here at the TV station, once said, "You're like the man who's been everywhere."
Oh, yes.
And I have to kind of chuckle because it's so true. I would wrap up my radio show. To the
Yes.
right is Tacoma. You wouldn't even know there's a big city right over there to the right. But to the left, then once you cross the bridge, the Tacoma Narrows Bridge, you're in a little town called Gig Harbor. And I tell people if they ever go up to that part of the world, two things. In downtown Seattle, take the ferry over to Bainbridge Island.
Yes.
It's just a half hour to get over there. It's beautiful views of the city, and then you get this cute little downtown. Same thing here. If you're in Tacoma, cross the bridge. Just to the left is a little town called Gig Harbor, and it's just so picture perfect.
It's so beautiful up
It
there.
really
And
is.
I think people, it's interesting. Like, it's not just when, if you take a little bit and to explore the different cities, there is, what's the part of Seattle, north of Seattle, where it's like very Scandinavian?
Oh, that's Ballard.
Ballard.
Yeah.
So the grocery store, the Safeway at Ballard,
Oh, yeah.
we're driving through and they had flags. My husband's from Edmonds up on the Puget Sound.
Right.
They have flags of all the Scandinavian countries hanging outside of the Safeway.
Well, that's so great.
And so you
Yeah.
get to have this like slice of life
Yeah.
when you explore outside of the city.
Yeah, right.
And
Sure.
it's really neat. The northwest part of the country is really beautiful.
Well, yeah, that's for sure. So guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Happy to present to you
Big D.
the man with the microphone. There he is. Hello, Big D.
Would you like me to get right into comments?
Yeah, jump right in, buddy.
You can hear us. Can you? We'll have to ask everybody at home if they can hear him or not.
Let us know in the chat.
Give us a 1, 2, 3 there.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hello.
1, 2, 3.
I hear a big echo.
Echo.
Yeah.
We're going to wait to see if anybody chimes in the chat to let us know if they can hear.
Yeah. But anyway, you know what? I think we can hear you, Dave. What are you seeing? Just speak up a little bit.
Robert in surprise says Trump hasn't done anything to help the American people. Retail prices continue to increase and gas has not gone down. Fred in Glendale said it's only been 10 months and already prices on most things are dropping. Illegal immigration is largely stopped. World trade deals and foreign investments skyrocketed. He's doing exactly what he promised. Linda in Phoenix says, I wish people would take a moment and realize instant gratification isn't a thing. It's been 9 months.
Okay, it looks as though,
Take a
Big D,
breath.
they can hear you, but it's super muffled.
Super muffled.
Yeah, so we're
Boy.
going to work on that.
Super muffled. That's
Not just muffled, but super muffled.
They said super muffled.
Yeah. Now I'm afraid we're going to get some online protests starting here. If we
Because
don't-
Big D.
If we can't get
We
Big D
need
on.
Big D.
You saw him. We'll be back. We'll check in with him in a little while. It's so funny how things like this happen because it's a streaming show.
Yeah.
And we really are trying to figure out, because everything was great yesterday, what strange thing happened, which little button somewhere
You know what I
got
think it
pushed.
was? It was like the night crew. I don't know who's in here
boy.
at night,
Oh,
but they're
boy.
pressing all kinds of buttons.
I think you're right. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more. I got a live cam for you now. Let me just punch this up from, I think we're going to ENG 21, sure enough, Sky Harbor Airport. Syleste, I'm so excited that in 3 hours' time,
Yes.
actually a little bit less now, currently winging its way over the Pacific, probably somewhere up there near, I don't know, Alaska, British Columbia, off the coast of Washington, is our first international flight from Taiwan,
Yes.
Taiwan into Phoenix Sky Harbor. So this is China Airlines. The big wigs are coming into town. Their chairman's going to be there. There's going to be a big celebration because it's kicking off nonstop service between Phoenix and Asia. Once you go to China Airlines hub, you can then, your next flight can take you almost to any city in Asia. And I think a lot of people maybe have a tendency to, if they're going to go explore, they go the other way to
Yes.
Europe or something like that. But boy, Asia is amazing to explore. I've been to China twice and can't wait to go back.
So I just looked up Bella. Good morning. Bella just walked into the studio, everyone. I know you guys love her. So I just looked up how much, as we're taking a look here again during
good.
Sky Harbor, what does it cost to fly on China Airlines?
Okay.
So let's say hypothetically you're thinking, I want to go on vacation in February and you want to fly Phoenix to Taipei City.
Okay.
Well, if it's a 4 p.m. flight, it arrives the next day at 10:20.
Right.
That's a nonstop flight, but
Okay.
because of the time change, change.
Yep.
$667
Are
on
you
China Airlines.
kidding me?
Yes.
Okay, and Starlux Airlines,
Yes.
and not to be outdone, is going to start their nonstop service here to Phoenix as well. It's just about time that we started to get a lot more of these international flights.
And
So-
I'll give you that price as well.
Okay.
Starlux is $742.
Okay.
And if you wanted to leave that same night, but later, 10:45, you get there 2 days later at 4:55 a.m. But yeah, I mean, you're looking at between 608 is a flight on United with one stop.
Yeah.
So, and I think we started to see this kind of movement and development. If you look back, Ron, when they started developing the semiconductor, the Taiwanese semiconductor.
Oh, for sure.
When Biden made the trip out
Yep.
and they made the big announcement, they broke ground. That is when we started to see maybe the movement with adding this flight.
Yeah,
because you have a
for
lot of people
sure.
maybe coming over,
Yeah.
and to work there in this semiconductor plant.
Okay, so we are all set to talk to Sarah Foster. Sarah, welcome into Fox 10 Talks. Nice to see you.
Hey, Sarah.
Welcome. Thank you for having me. Great to be back here.
Sarah, it's interesting. Do you mind telling us where you are here in this great big country of ours?
Yeah, I'm located in Brooklyn, New York. It's a borough of New York City.
Good, Brooklyn, New York. Yeah, and we can hear you better than we can hear Big T, who's 10 feet away from us.
What's the weather like out there today, by the way, Sarah? We know you guys have been pummeled by that nor'easter the last few days. What's it look like today?
Yeah, it's pretty cold, but we didn't really experience any snow or rain, so that's kind of what I'm thankful for. It's just the cold, and I'm from the Midwest, so I'm a little bit used to that.
Well, the reason we wanted to get you on today is to talk about some of these big economic stories that are trending. There was an interesting survey that said almost 80% of all items that people would buy for the holidays are up in price from last year. So we thought maybe we could bring Sarah on with some ideas on how to just navigate it.
Yeah.
It's difficult, right? The past couple of years, this holiday shopping season, I think a lot of consumers were seeing really great discounts. They were able to kind of wait all the way up to the end of the year. Kind of the last minute shoppers even won here because retailers were trying to get rid of inventory. They were offering great discounts. That world is changing now. It's not just because prices have been increasing, it's also because a lot of retailers are navigating tariffs. These supply chain issues are kind of coming back into play. It's not necessarily to the degree of what we experienced post-pandemic, and prices across the board are not rising as fast as they were a few years ago, but it's definitely a story of things moving in the wrong direction. If I can call attention to a couple items here that I myself am a little bit bummed about, those musical instruments, those are actually among the most inflated items that we looked at in our annual holiday inflation index. And then watches, those increased in price compared to last year.
Oh, wow. So we had a poll here of our viewers in Phoenix, Sarah, and about 50% of our viewership had said that they had already purchased most of their gifts. 50% said they were going to wait to purchase. What are your thoughts on waiting versus purchasing now? Are we expecting to see maybe some of those prices drop as we get closer to Christmas?
Those 50% of shoppers are really winning out here. That's the best advice I have right now. It's not the year to put off your shopping. Get started early. If you see a good price, take it while you can, because as we were talking about, those inventory challenges mean that, not just the discount, but the item itself might not be here the longer you wait. I go back and forth on that debate myself. I see a discount. I ask myself, is this going to be as good as it gets? I think there is some challenge to that, waiting out when to time your purchase. But this year, it's more important than ever to at least make sure that you have your list, you're prepared to buy an item while you can, and that you're at least shopping around and comparison shopping. So, you might be surprised by some of the discounts that some retailers have as compared to, other places.
Okay. Yeah. Now we have two more topics. We're going to try to squeeze them in our last couple of minutes here. Mortgage rates, I saw it this morning, I'm sure you did too, are down to 6.32. I really feel like if they can drop down into the fives, things will loosen up. But despite that, housing really still isn't moving. Why are interest rates dropping, number one, and why aren't we seeing the housing markets really start to pick up?
Time and time again, I always come back to this point about mortgage rates, the economy, and this difficult dance. And I say that, falling mortgage rates are often an instance of us being, we have to be careful what we wish for because what's bad for the economy often is good on the mortgage rate side. We still see that mortgage rates in our survey at Bankrate, those are still elevated. They're higher at this point than they were back in September 2024 when the Fed first started cutting interest rates. I know that's pretty ironic here, but a lot of home buyers who see those elevated mortgage rates are not surprised to know that it is still a tough time to afford to buy a house. I think what we're seeing right now is just jitteriness about the outlook in the economy. I hear from home buyers and I hear from home sellers themselves that, many of them are having to take their homes off the market. They're saying it's a tough time to really sell. Buyers are really skittish about what the outlook for the economy and the job market could look like. And I often go back to that point where is mortgage rates falling really what's going to help us afford to buy a home, or is the ability to continue to get raises, to find better jobs, and to further our careers and our incomes, what will help you most? And that's the biggest challenge right now.
So one quick question. We just have about a minute or so left, Sarah, but we're going to ask you about gas prices. Here in Phoenix, we're historically higher than the rest of the country, but I think it's a sweet spot for a lot of people who may be watching from other parts of the nation. Gas is dropping. The price of it.
It's interesting right now because we're at this inflection point where supply is actually increasing. We see that the OPEC countries, they're actually producing more oil. They've kind of cut those output limits. At the same time, Gas Buddy, who tracks these prices nationwide, they've also estimated that fuel demand has actually weakened a little bit. When you're wondering what's behind those prices at the pump and, they fluctuate regularly, drivers know that. It's always that dance between supply and demand. And like we were talking about earlier, the same thing that's true for the housing market, where what's bad for the economy can often be good for, mortgage rates. It's often true for gas prices. A sense of lower demand might be a signal of consumers being a little bit skittish about what the outlook looks like.
Well, we could sure use those $2.99 prices right here in our 5 million strong metro area. That's for sure. Sarah, thank you.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Have a great holiday season, Sarah, if we don't chat with you.
We got to figure out how we're going to celebrate when they do hit $2.99.
Oh, my goodness. Confetti. We'll bring confetti.
We'll have a pizza party.
With pineapple.
We'll be right back, everybody.
Everybody. I know my hands are wrapped around your waist.
We are having so much fun because Bella, we have about 75% of Bella here joining us today. The other half is missing.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I love it. This is great. This is like almost the perfect match of green that she's wearing there.
Yes,
I know.
it's like
Well,
very
it's a
close.
holiday green.
I know.
You know,
I want it
that's
to
a
be
hard
festive
thing.
and
All right.
Yeah.
It's really good.
thank
yeah,
you.
we can just leave it on. Like, she's fine. She
Go
looks
ahead.
great.
Stand up. Show us the whole look,
Thank
Bella.
you. I brought a sweater so I can.
Great. Look at that.
It's not working right now.
The missing Bella. Oh, that's the move right there.
Oh, that's scary. Look.
Okay,
Look
that's
at your
Bella's
arm. Look at
head
your
over
hand.
Camelback.
So amazing.
Oh, that's great.
I'll
All
put
right.
the
Well,
sweater
we
on,
got a
don't
game
worry.
plan. Hey, we all love our sports around here, but you know where else they love it? And boy, are they getting excited, is in the city of Chicago. This is from our sister station in Chicago. Look at all these folks lined up. Why? For free hot dogs. So here is the deal. The Wieners Circle outfit,
Okay.
not Winner's Circle, Wieners Circle, made a promise earlier this football season. They said that if the Bears coach, Ben Johnson, took off his shirt in celebration of a win, they would hand out free hot dogs to Chicagoans. Well, after the Bears beat the Eagles in the Black Friday game last weekend, he was seen in the locker room without his shirt on.
Oh, wow.
The Wieners Circle owner said they were going to give out probably 3,000 hot dogs. The only thing that would slow you down is, do you want to wait 3 hours in line for a hot dog? I know Chicago dogs are amazing, but that's a pretty cool story, I thought.
That's a great story.
Uh-huh.
And Chicago dogs are amazing.
Yeah.
When I worked up in Flagstaff, this was early in my career,
Hmm.
there was a hot dog stand at the courthouse.
Ooh.
And you know this, Bells, by working out on the streets sometimes. You're like, you see those hot dog stands. We have them here in downtown Phoenix. And his stand was called Mountaintop Dogs.
Ooh.
And we became friends. He would travel around the country. And so he would only be in Flagstaff, though, during the warmer months.
Okay. Understandable.
Yeah, because, it snows and he's like, this isn't going to work. But he would have Chicago dogs. And he knew every time we showed up there at the courthouse to get a dog that he knew he knew our order already.
That's very special.
Mountaintop
That's
dogs.
so
yeah.
special.
And Chicago dogs are amazing.
All right, so let's say this, you guys. Let's think about this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's say that the Cardinals were to win all the rest of their games.
Okay.
Okay.
Just play along.
I'm down with that.
Okay, be nice. And then coach, to celebrate the very last game of the season, because they had the big turnaround. What do they have? About 4 games left, 4 or 5, something like that. And he took off his shirt. What restaurant would we want to be giving out the free food?
Durant's.
Oh, Durant's. Big
Look at
D
Big D.
says.
That man does not have a microphone, but he's got a vote.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, Durant's. Okay, what else? What else would we like
I don't
to
know,
get?
Bells. What do you
Go
think?
line up for free food.
I just thought of Taco Cello. Tacos.
That's good.
It's
All right.
very close to the stadium.
Yeah.
Great tacos.
Yeah, I was thinking carne asada burritos.
Okay, nice.
They
Yeah.
they travel well.
That's
You
a
can-
good point.
You know, they have
travel well.
They travel
Good.
well.
Yeah.
There's this the beach hut. I think it is on Camelback and like 6th Street.
Oh, that place is so good.
Right?
Yes.
And their carne asada burritos
Really?
are fire. They're so good.
Wow.
They're so good. And so, you wrap it in foil. You throw a bunch of them into a bunch of coolers or whatever. Next thing you know, everybody's got a free burrito.
I would like the crazy subs that's with a K out in Mesa. I'm impartial.
okay.
Yes.
It could be either Steve's or Ned's. The two,
Yum.
the clash of the titans in the sandwich world.
Are they
out there in
brothers?
Mesa. Yeah, I think originally.
Or cousins.
Now it's like the next generation that runs
they're
everything.
cousins.
They're all second cousins now.
Yes,
For
exactly.
Sure, but yeah, that's a good sub sandwich too.
It's delicious. And they
Okay.
used to have a hooner.
Right?
What, right? Didn't they have
I
a
need to go back in there and
sandwich?
tell them, get that thing back on the
I
menu.
know. I didn't get to try it yet.
What
Yeah.
was on that one?
Well, it
Ron?
was a turkey sandwich, extra meat, provolone is your cheese, toasted with everything on it except mustard, and extra oil and vinegar.
Oh, so
That
good.
sounds
And they have,
phenomenal.
and
Oil and
you also get to
vinegars.
choose an extra item. I always have them throw olives on there.
It's like Mike's. It's like a number 7.
At
That's
Jersey
at
Mike's?
Jersey Mike's.
Love
Mike's
it.
way. Oh, is that so good with the oregano?
You have to do it that way. It's
All
not
right.
complete without it.
Now we're hungry.
We love talking food and we love talking the dating world.
We do.
We're happily married,
Yes.
and Bella's got a
Will be
significant
soon.
other.
Will be. Uh-huh.
Right? Do you have a significant other? Kind of.
Little
No
boyfriend.
pressure.
Not
No
like you're in
pressure.
the market right now, are you? Or, okay. Wow, these are some.
Ron, you're getting down. These are some
This is good.
sensitive questions.
Wow. Okay, good. Anyway, here's what's trending this morning in the dating world. Let's talk just a little bit about this, ladies, because Facebook apparently is knocking it out of the ballpark. According to the New York Times, they rolled out this, I guess it's just called Facebook Dating.
Okay.
And it's like taken over the dating world. It's now beating out a bunch of the otherwise most popular apps by millions. They now report they have over 20 million daily users. Why would Facebook, of all things, be more popular than, some of these other big names? I mean, you have multiple choices out there, from Hinge to Tinder to, some of the more traditional ones. What do you think?
Well, I have an opinion on that
All right.
because I think my Facebook thinks I'm single. So the Facebook dating app keeps coming up in my
wow.
feed every time I open Facebook.
Okay.
But to my knowledge, Facebook dating, I think, pairs you with more like-minded people because the other dating apps only go based on location and if you have similar interests. But Facebook dating, no one will come up into your feed unless you have 2 to 3 mutual connections. So I opened it up once and I was being matched with people who maybe were friends with someone I went to high school with, or they were friends with someone that I went to college with. So I think Facebook dating mimics the meeting in real life a lot better, where you meet through mutual friends.
And you know what might be interesting too, is that, and I'm not on Facebook dating because it knows I'm married, but maybe you have, like, when you have a friend that you see online, you can see the mutuals,
Yes.
right? So then the Facebook dating, you can see like who their friends are. You can see their
Definitely.
profile. You can see, do we know anybody in common? You can see their about page, maybe where they
Right.
work.
Yeah, so it's a little less random than the other apps. And I think
Yeah.
it's a little safer because you can
Yes.
see, as you mentioned, the whole person's profile versus you could be on another dating app and there's no way to verify it. And it could be like a robot or
Okay.
someone
Yeah.
creepy.
Let me
Yeah.
test this theory out on you guys. When you go on certain apps like, say, Tinder,
Uh-huh.
you're probably not looking for marriage. You're
Yes.
looking for
The hookup.
a date or two.
The hookup.
Okay. Versus, I'm just reading on some of these others like Match, eHarmony, it says it might be the best one for people who are seeking marriage.
Okay.
So, when people are like, I can't find the right guy or I can't find the right girl,
Yes.
maybe it's because they're only looking for a one-night stand.
Right, because you're not on the right app.
Possibly?
And I think
I
the
think
hot,
so.
The hot one now is Hinge.
Okay.
That's the one that I've heard a lot of people on Hinge, and Bumble. People like Bumble because the ladies get to choose and make the first step.
No more bail bashing. Well, okay, so that's really interesting, but we'll see where it goes from here.
Maybe they're in the love business.
Who is?
Facebook.
Maybe.
You never know.
Sure. All these apps.
They're
I
already
know
in the
nothing about
marketplace
'em.
business.
They
Yeah.
are.
I love
The meat
Facebook
market. Now it's the
Marketplace.
meat market. They should have called it the meat market.
Do you guys, this would
a
be
good
like
one.
in your
Trademark.
family, like, I don't know, your brothers, cousins, etc., sisters. Anybody get into the Pokemon thing at an earlier age, Celeste? Did your kids get into Pokemon at all? None for you, Bella, either?
I mean, they did for like a hot minute when it was the Pokemon Go. But then all the weird things started happening.
What
Like
weird things?
Like people, you're going into other people's yards and people, going into weird. I
Going
don't
into
know.
a weird alley.
Yeah, it's like, and so I was like,
In reality or virtually?
no, on Pokemon Go.
In reality.
In reality.
Oh.
Remember the Pokemon Go app, and it would take
Yeah.
you into weird place. And I was like, all right, X-nay on the Pokemon Go A.
Okay.
Like, this is not
Mom
happening.
put the kibosh.
Yes, I'm like,
Yes.
nope,
All right.
this is not happening.
Well, here's what happened. Somebody apparently, so this was, when was the first phenomenon? Maybe 7-8 years ago? If even that long? 5 years ago?
Pokemon?
Yeah.
I feel like it was
It's a long
during
time ago.
COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been around a long
COVID,
time.
Good point. So there was a card that just showed up as a trade-in at a GameStop store. And they took a good look at it at this Pokemon location in Grapevine, Texas, and they came up with a trade-in value of $30,000.
No way.
Smokes.
Okay, Bella's
No
like,
way.
come on, how is that possible?
I'm thinking of so many things I could buy with that money.
I know.
A single card.
But this is so,
No.
it probably was a kid maybe who's grown up now and has grown out of it, if it was 10 years ago or whatever. And somehow, I guess there's an aftermarket now for these more premier cars. $30,000. You might want to go ask your son or daughter, grandchild, etc. Hey, you got a bunch of Pokemon cards. Let's go look through them. That's incredible.
So Pokemon when first came out in 96.
Wow.
That's when it was originally released
Okay.
in Japan.
Good.
Usually then it takes a few years to come to the United States.
All right.
But in 2016 is when Pokemon Go launched.
Okay.
And so that's when
Yeah.
that was like the resurgence, I think, that we saw.
We should get a card trader in here to explain what makes one worth $3 and another one worth $30,000.
That's a great idea.
Okay.
Dave, did you hear that?
Yeah. Big D's probably already working on it. Let's just double check and make sure. Nope, I guess not. All right.
Here he comes. Here he comes.
Now he's working
He's
on
everywhere
it.
at once.
Yeah. Hey, before we say our goodbyes and move out of here for Ty and Anita, just thought we would show you. Do we have the snow pictures? I'm going to let you guys roll it.
So amazing.
The corgis. Oh, here. I know I see it. I got it right here. Ready? Corgis in the snow. People living here in the valley where the weather's going to be beautiful, 70-something today, they love pictures of other people having to deal with the snow. But boy, this corgi, the thing about corgis is they got those really short legs.
And they're so darn cute.
Yeah,
like the bodies are long and then they're just adorable.
Sure.
Cute.
Well, I can visualize Queen Elizabeth. She probably had a bunch of them, took them for a walk in the snow.
Oh, yeah.
Or had her butler do it. Or her valet.
Or her valet.
Yeah, something like that.
So cute.
That's so
He looks so
great.
happy. He or she.
know.
They look very happy.
Yeah,
I
for
know.
sure.
Aw.
Okay. Well, there you go. Dogs in the snow.
Pretty amazing. I mean, we have some pretty nice temps here. I'm guessing that this corgi is on the East Coast.
Yes.
Because
Oh, yeah.
that's
for
where
sure.
they have received a
PA.
crazy amount
Yeah.
of snow out there.
Taylor, Pennsylvania. That's for sure.
There you
well,
go.
the way it works is the first day of the snowfall, we show you all the car crashes, all the wrecks and cars sliding off the road.
Yes.
Then once we get through that after like day 3 and 4, then we can show you the animals.
Yes. And that's what
Yay.
we're bringing you today. So we're glad you joined us, everyone, for today's Fox 10 Talks. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
All right, good Wednesday. We are going to continue things here on Fox 10 Talks. Keep things rolling. We've got another jam-packed show at 11 now. Do you want to get started?
Sure.
All right.
Do you want to introduce our first guest?
Yes, we have Dr. Dhillon here. He is with the Arizona
Hi, Doctor.
Center for Cancer Care, and today we're talking about stomach cancer.
Oh, goodness.
So
Yeah.
can you just kind of give us a brief rundown? It seems like we don't really hear about stomach cancer a lot. We just came off of October, which was Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Prostate cancer, we talk
cancer.
about a lot. Lung
But-
cancer.
Exactly. But stomach cancer, we don't really hear a lot about stomach cancer.
Yep. Thanks for having me here. So you're absolutely right. The fun fact is November was Stomach Cancer Awareness Month. But it is very true that stomach cancer does not get the kind of attention that some of the other cancers get, like breast cancer or lung cancer. But when you look at the numbers are not trivial. In the U.S., approximately 30,000 people will be diagnosed with stomach cancer in 2025. And there is no established screening protocol. I mean, there's no screening guidelines. So we have to be so aware of the symptoms. If you are aware of early stomach cancer symptoms, you're likely to call your doctor and say, hey, this is what I'm dealing with. Should I be screened or should I get an endoscopy? So I think early detection with awareness of the symptoms is the key to beating this.
Before we talk about symptoms and the screening process, is this predominantly a cancer that hits men or women or both? It doesn't matter.
It can hit both men and women. There are certain geographic areas where it's more prevalent, especially in Southeast Asia and in Asia in general. There are certain genetic predisposition factors that can predispose you to stomach cancer.
Such as?
So there's, for example, a syndrome caused by a mutation in the CDH1 gene that causes increased risk of lobular breast cancer and gastric cancer or stomach cancer. So being aware of your family history is really helpful in getting tested.
Sure. All right, let's get right into what are those symptoms that folks should be on the lookout for.
So interestingly, the symptoms are very subtle and similar to common everyday problems. For example, gastric fullness, early satiety, heartburn, abdominal discomfort, feeling full early. So the symptoms are very vague sometimes. But the key is to keep an eye on these symptoms if they last more than 2 to 3 months.
Oh, really? Okay. So would you go into your doctor like within that first month being like, hey, these are kind of the symptoms I've been having, and then they monitor it over the next couple of days? Or after you kind of get in to your doctor and say, these are kind of the symptoms I'm having, what would the next steps be for that doctor then to kind of, I guess, weed out the possibility of some of those lesser serious symptoms and then actually diagnose with stomach cancer?
So that's a great question. So I think that's where your doctor is going to look at your risk factors or any pre-existing conditions to see if you could be having gastritis, GERD, just flu, food poisoning, things like that. But if these symptoms are unexplained, not addressed by common medications and going on for, like I said, 2 to 3 months, that's when I think you should really get an endoscopy and get checked out to make sure it's nothing more serious than meets the eye.
Do you think that this is like the last thing doctors look for? Because like you said, you have these symptoms which are common. So then they say, well, you have a stomach ache or you have a little bit of gas or you have this. The last thing, because the screening is a little bit more evasive and you go under and you have to prepare for it. Is that maybe the last thing that they screen for?
Right. I think that the symptoms are sometimes so subtle and common that both patients and doctors may tend to ignore it. But I think any astute physician is going to catch on to the fact that you have these continuing symptoms that are not being addressed or are relieved by what we're doing so far. And that's going to be typically a trigger for doing advanced testing like endoscopy.
She mentioned it, but what goes into an endoscopy or what is it called? An endoscope?
Yeah, like an EGD or endoscopy. It's basically they give you light sedation.
Go down your throat.
Then,
you're not out completely?
I don't think you kind of need to be.
I'd want to be out. You just go ahead, knock me out if you should put in such. Yeah, but I mean, you have to.
You just on. Yeah, I think that when you knock someone out completely, that's general anesthesia. It's more complicated. There's more side effects. So I think that's all you really need.
We're getting some questions, Doctor, from some of our chatters here this morning. Someone is asking, does age play a part in stomach cancer?
Yes. So aging is a catalyst for cancer in general. As we age, our cells age, and the likelihood of developing a mutation that may cause cancer over time is higher. So aging is one of the biggest factors for cancer in general.
What about diet, lifestyle? We know smoking it typically leads to lung cancer.
Right. So you're right. Lifestyle plays an important role. One big factor which is unique to stomach cancer is H. pylori infection. It's a bacteria which you can get from human to human contact, from food, from water, and that colonizes the lining of the stomach and causes prolonged periods of inflammation that can ultimately become cancer. And it's easily treatable. So I think being aware of that is very important. And then smoked processed foods, salted foods, foods that are
favorite thing.
I'm so sorry to break this to you, Ty.
It's all right. I need to be better about my diet anyway.
Okay, well, I'll be honest. I had that infection, what is it called?
H. pylori.
Yeah, and the doctor that I saw thought perhaps it was something I picked up while traveling because I eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. I don't eat a lot of meats, and I had to do the scope, and they took part of the stomach lining and found what it was. And it was a round of antibiotics for 30 days. And the one antibiotic had this terrible aftertaste that would come up. But it went away.
Yeah. So I think that's such a...
But now I'm scared. You think about that. You don't realize how common these things can be.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
But as long as you've documented that it's cleared, I don't think you should be scared.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
You go along, enjoy the holidays.
There you go. I was going to ask you real quick,
Eat those salty nuts.
The last question here is, if you do catch it early, is it easily treatable? And kind of what is the prognosis for most individuals that get stomach cancer?
That's such a great question. The earlier it's caught, the better your outcome, ranging from, you can say, 70% cure rate to a 7% cure rate between different stages. So we want to catch it early, being aware of those symptoms, and then getting an endoscopy. And if it's like super early, super like superficial in the mucosa or the lining of the stomach, they can just almost scrape it out with endoscopy.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And I was talking to one of my GI gastroenterology friends, and they use a special light. It's called chromo endoscopy, and they're able to visualize the bad parts of the lining better than the good parts, and then that helps them take it out. But if it's a little bit more advanced than that, let's say it's going into the lymph nodes or invading deeper into the stomach tissues, there was a time when everyone used to go to surgery, but now we're giving them combination of chemotherapy and immunotherapy to shrink it down, sometimes to zero before they go to surgery.
Wow.
So, and then if, let's say, cancer is more advanced, we're routinely like barcoding these cancers or like IDing them to see what's really driving, what mutations are driving the cancer. So truly to give our patients a personalized, like a tailored approach to targeting the mutations that are driving the cancer.
It's very interesting. Yeah.
Well, doctor, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Again, this is Dr. Dhillon, our guest here this morning with the Arizona Center for Cancer Care. We appreciate you coming in.
Happy holidays.
Thank you for having me, and happy holidays to you
Good information there.
Really
Something
is.
you don't think about often.
All right.
Number 2.
Here we go, you guys. The Phoenix Symphony. We kind of told you about this last month if you were watching. Every month, we are going to have our new best friend, Chris Powell, from the Phoenix Symphony, coming in to kind of give us a rundown of what they have coming up. Because if you've never experienced the Phoenix Symphony, it is such a cool experience.
What you guys don't know is that Chris, as we speak, is doing the hot girl walk, like all of our guests do.
Yes.
It's fun. Hi.
Chris is like, I have no idea what you're talking about here this morning. Well, Chris, good morning. You brought a guest with you this morning. Chris, who's
all
your guest here this
festive. I
morning?
love the pen.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, welcome in, guys.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Reginald Smith Jr.
Okay, we
or you can just call me Reggie
We don't
Smith.
need the mic for Reginald.
Oh my gosh, what a voice. Wow.
Good morning, you guys. And Reginald, you're going to be actually kind of one of the performers with the Phoenix Symphony, right?
I am. It's great. I was here last year, and it's great to be back to be one of the soloists for the Holiday Pops.
How cool is that?
So how does that work? Because the last time we chatted a little bit about auditioning for the symphony, being a member of the symphony. Once you have that position, you're not letting go. So, so do you travel from different symphonies and perform with different symphonies?
Yeah, so I'm basically an independent contractor musician. So I do a lot of work with symphonies, with opera companies, recitals with pianists, and I have a really amazing job where I get to travel the world and scream at people in different languages for money. And sometimes I make music.
Ty and I do that all the time.
Chris, let's talk about this because he mentioned the Pops concert, which is coming up soon. I think we actually have a rundown. Hold on, maybe is this one? Let's check.
Nope, not that. That would be a crime scene. Just kidding.
I thought we had the rundown, but you guys, hold on. I put it in here. It's coming up very soon. December 5th through 7th, right?
Correct. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay.
We have 2 performances on Saturday. There's an afternoon and evening. And and Reginald and also Jasmine Habersham is also going to be singing with Reginald Smith. Larry Lowe is the conductor. He's a music director from Waco, Texas.
Oh, neat.
And Reggie, of course, is a native Texan as well.
Oh, I'm from the great state of Georgia.
Georgia.
Along with Jasmine Habersham.
There you go.
We got 2 Georgia peaches out here in Arizona. Hopefully we don't wither in the Arizona desert.
Well, it is going to be almost 80 next week, so I don't know how you're going to do.
Yeah.
So as far as the rehearsal, I'm curious because you're not there to rehearse with the entire group. So how much time are you guys given to put this show together and prepare, or do you just know it that well?
Well, this is really fun because I got in last night. We have a rehearsal this evening, tomorrow evening, Friday morning, I believe, and then 4 performances in a row.
Wow.
And so you have to show up with the music basically prepared and ready to go. But it's always a bit of putting it together for the first time with the orchestra, with the choir, with the different soloists. So, the first rehearsal, like this evening, will be a bit of getting to know you. But by Friday, it'll all be running smoothly and we're on the go.
Reginald, walk us through how you got to be a singer. I mean, we can tell those pipes, I think.
Wow.
Given, but, I mean, how did you get into this?
Well, fortunately, I grew up singing. I've been singing my whole life. And on my mother's side of the family in particular, we have a lot of singers. So I was a choir kid. And so much so that I went to school to teach choir, kindergarten through 12th grade, and also vocal performance. And so when I was in high school was when I really discovered opera, and I was already doing classical singing. But the sort of solo operatic thing, I thought, well, that's kind of cool. And so I went to school for performance and education, and fortunately, I've been singing my whole life.
We have to take a quick break.
Can you guys just hold on
Stay
real quick
close.
for 2 minutes?
2 minutes.
No!
Right,
Of
2
course.
minutes.
We'll be right back, you guys.
There you go.
All right, welcome back, you guys. We have the Phoenix Symphony and our guest,
And also in the chat.
Yes,
asking
great questions.
What should we expect if we attend Holiday Pop's spectacular concert?
Chris? Oh, absolutely. Well, it's an incredibly it's a festive day, evening, whichever performance you decide to go to, of holiday favorites with the Phoenix Symphony Chorus, Reggie and Jasmine, and it is one of something that people really look forward to in Phoenix. It's become a holiday tradition to come and just celebrate and be together and listen to the holiday music with great voices, a terrific orchestra, and it just leaves you with that feeling. Okay, we're in the holidays now.
We have another question for you, Reggie. How long do you have to warm up your voice before performing, and what range does Reggie have? Second question.
Fortunately, this show requires a large range, so I have to warm up the very bottom and also the very top.
Oh my gosh, that's about all I could do if you wanted me to
I'll
sing.
it takes a little while to warm up, but that's okay. But the thing I love about doing this concert in particular is that if you've never been to a symphony concert, it's the one to go to. It's all the songs you know, like Silent Night, Holy Night, and sometimes
I don't think we're supposed
you
to
even get a visit from my good friend.
Oh.
There you go. Every Who down in Whoville.
Oh my gosh!
So it's So I have a ton of fun doing this, by the way.
I love
this. If you've never been, it's great. And you mentioned your lovely singing voice.
No.
One of the best parts is that they always do the 12 days of Christmas. And on the 5th day, they go around in the audience with a microphone.
No, I'm definitely
a
not
lovely
going.
audience member gets to sing
Oh
5 gold rings. And I always stand backstage and laugh. So there you go.
Do you have a favorite song that you absolutely love to perform, whether it's on stage or in your shower?
No, I think that's the beauty of music is that I love the wide gamut of whether it's holiday tunes or whether it's Aretha Franklin or Pavarotti. The beauty of music is so wonderfully overwhelming that I just love it all.
Oh, I love that.
It's a cool,
thank you guys
cool
for
thing.
You guys are fun.
Chris, real quick, how do folks get tickets so they can see Reg?
Phoenix Symphony.
I call you Reg like you're my BFF.
Yeah, I know.
Is that all right?
It's good. We BFFs.
Right, phoenixsymphony.org, and tickets are still available.
Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah, and come and we'll make sure you get the microphone.
I would hide under the chair. There's no way.
Ty has a very good voice. He sings often in the
But I
newsroom.
don't sing for people. Just for
us.
Just to annoy my coworkers.
Just for us.
Well, you guys, thank you so much for coming in. We really
Thank you.
Merry Christmas. Have the best time this weekend.
All right, you guys, well, take a look at this. This is the brand new Dorrance Dome that just opened at the Arizona Science Center. So if you were looking for something fun to do for the whole family, this is it right here in our own backyard in downtown Phoenix. Look how cool this is.
I don't know. I might be a little scared.
Or you get a little motion sickness, right? I don't know. We've got our two new guests here this morning. If you watch the show a lot, you've probably seen her before. That's why I was like, sorry, we got to get you back on because Sari.
It's been that long.
Sari.
It's been that long.
You used to come on like every weekend when Ty and I did weekend mornings.
Every Saturday for almost, I think, 2 years.
Yeah.
And
we
then
got
even
to know
every
you
other.
very well.
And you brought a friend.
I did. I brought my colleague, Cameron.
Hi, Cameron.
Hi, Cameron.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. We were just showing, let me put it back up. And if you want to, Cameron, talk about the Dorrance Dome, because this thing is insane.
Absolutely. I mean, I get to see it every day, and I'm still not sick of it. It is absolutely gorgeous. Definitely an experience to come see. As you can see, we've got about 9,000 plus panels, LED panels, making about an 8K resolution, which can take you anywhere in the world, either in the universe or here on Earth.
So I see chairs, but I see people standing.
Yeah.
What when you're walking into this room, what are you expecting?
So when you walk in, you're going to see kind of, a typical theater chairs, stacked up, rows, and then we've got the front ones. The front ones recline if you want a more immersive experience. Back ones are going to be more just kind of that theater view, but you're going to kind of, imagine a theater, but then the screen is the thing that's going to amaze you, where it is a full 360 view with even a little addition that we have an apron, which gives us a fully immersive view of wherever we want to go in the world.
That's insane.
Absolutely.
Now, do people get motion sickness when they go in there?
Sometimes we always make sure to tell people
They have buckets everywhere just in case. Well, I mean, that's what happens with motion sickness.
But yeah,
on the floor.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, we have sometimes in the show where it feels like you're flying around. And when I'm doing some of the shows, I'm standing up front. You'll see in some of these, but up front
like
there,
this one, yeah.
I'm standing, and when it's moving, sometimes I have to like stand still, kind of center myself. But
so we have a panel in the studio. You've seen it, where it's like just blank walls, and same thing, we show video. And sometimes when we're hosting or anchoring and we're looking at that and the camera's live and I'm looking at it, it's the same thing. I have to hold on to something. You have to hold on to something. So how much of what are we seeing on these screens, on these panels?
So you're seeing a portion of it right now, that apron that Cameron mentioned. The LED panels come all the way down to the floor, but it comes all the way up and over you. So it's not just above you, it's also in front of you. It takes up your entire field of vision for the way we have the new theater oriented. So it's more than just a planetarium, the full dome. You even clocked it with the imagery here. You saw that, like the chairs right here and the tables. We can take out half the seats in the front. You could have a dinner.
Oh, no way.
You could have cocktail hour. You could have a wedding. Anything we can dream of. We've already done yoga in the dome. The Dorrance Dome. Oh my gosh, my marketing team would kill me if they heard me say that. Sorry, guys. The Dorrance Dome, we have, when we first started talking about it, we can do anything in there. And we said, goat yoga on Mars. It's kind of the dream. So we've started with just yoga. We've had conversations about puppy yoga and goat yoga. And we intentionally did sealed concrete floors so we can do those things.
If you bring puppies in, I'm coming.
All right.
I'm coming.
What shows do you guys currently have there right now?
So we have about 4 shows. So we have 4 shows that all range, that will take you in the worlds of astronomy, throughout our solar system. We have a live show that I presented, and we have every day, every hour. So it's definitely, we've got Orbital, which takes you on a journey experiencing how astronauts see the Earth, and they have this effect called the overview effect, where the perspective changes because they're able to see the whole Earth. We have Worlds Beyond Earth, which takes you throughout our solar system, teaches you all about our different planets, our different moons. We have our live show, Astronomy Tours Arizona, led usually by me, where I take you on a little trip, live through Arizona, through Digistar, which is what our planetarium runs off of.
This is so cool.
It allows us to go anywhere in the universe and in the world.
I'm going to say this rivals the Sphere in Las Vegas.
It's even better, actually. The panels, so the software we have has a special system that blends the edges of the LED panels. It's seamless. You can't see where the edges of those panels are.
That is
and although we don't have 17,000 seats, we have an intimate 200.
That's better. So it's better, much better.
And it's right here in Phoenix.
Much more immersive, much more, you're in it. It feels like you're in it.
No, this is really cool.
Yeah, what a great education tool for the kids. Because you guys really do focus a lot on the education
aspect of everything.
Correct.
Absolutely.
And this is just, I can see the field trips coming in and the kids learning. And I mean, and then that'll lead to different careers in science. And
yes. Matter of fact, we just talked to someone outside your studio who said, oh, my daughter used to volunteer at the Science Center and got so excited. Now she works at NASA.
Whoa.
I know. I thought that was a great moment.
That gave me chills.
Just outside. Isn't that cool?
Wow.
So any of those moments where we can spark excitement and curiosity.
Wow.
Even if it doesn't lead to a career in STEM, those are the moments we love to hear about all of it. You just get excited about science in your everyday life. That's great too.
Well, we thought we'd bring you here anyway because we have something cool happening tonight. We have another supermoon.
Yes.
So I thought this would be a great opportunity for you to explain what is a supermoon. And this was is this the 3rd or the 4th this year? I can't remember what it was. There was
like the last one of this year.
The
last one of this year. Okay.
And we have had at least one other.
Yes.
I think we had a couple.
We've had a couple this year, and you're going to catch me on, I'm like, I don't know how many in my science moment, but this is the last one of the year. And there's another one coming up, I think, in January, I want to say. Now I'm going to have to Google, and someone's going to fact check me in the comments. And that's okay.
No, it's okay. We're looking it up right now. I can Google.
Right now.
What do you want to do?
We've got props to talk about.
Okay.
That's what we do.
Okay.
It's the 3rd and final, and it's called the Cold Moon. Yes.
Cold Moon.
Tonight is not is called the Cold Moon, the full December Cold Moon, the 3rd and final super moon of 2025, which peaked in illumination on the evening of Thursday, December 4th, visible through the night.
There we go. Okay.
So
cool.
Tonight this is going to be, it's special because this moon is bigger, right? So everybody thinks that the orbit of the moon is perfectly circular, and it's not. So we're going to explain that a little bit. Matter of fact, we're going to get you props.
Someone
I think
wanna be
you
the
guys are
sun?
gonna
You're
be the
gonna
sun. You
Cameron, you be the sun.
You be the
All right.
sun.
You be the sun.
All right. So, we need you to be the sun.
I'll be the sun.
You be
All
the
right,
sun.
perfect.
Yeah.
Anita, you're actually going to be the sun's light. Oh, if I can. Of
I
course,
am
because-
Ty's.
There you go.
I am Ty's light.
There
you
you
know
are,
it.
Ty's light.
Yeah.
And then, so you're going to be the light coming from the sun. I'm going to be the earth, and
Yeah.
Cameron's going to explain what's going on with
Okay.
a supermoon.
So for the supermoon, right, the orbit of the moon around the Earth isn't fully circular. It's kind of ever so slightly,
Oblong?
elliptical.
Okay.
Yeah, oblong. And so when the moon is the closest to the sun in its orbit, it looks about 14% bigger. And since it is hitting the closest part in its orbit, and it's also going to be a full moon, that is why we call it the supermoon, because it's going to be a full moon, and it's also going to be the closest to the Earth.
Oh.
So that's why it looks bigger, because it is. It's a little bit closer to us. It's 14% bigger in our sky.
Okay.
And so we're going to, and so...
Cameron, my arms are getting tired.
Oh, I know.
Here,
Yeah, you're good. Here.
pass on. We're
Pass on.
orbiting.
There you go.
Orbiting.
We'll orbit right
Yeah.
here. Yep.
And
all
so
the way around.
it all orbits around, but again, when it, we're going to over exaggerate a little bit. The moon's orbiting far away, but then when it gets super close, and then it, goes all the way over here, and then the light from the sun is going to be bouncing off of the moon.
Making it all the brighter and bigger.
It's going to make it brighter. It's going to make it look bigger because it is slightly bigger in our night sky.
What
So
time should people head out to look at it?
It's going to
Can I
be
hand you my son?
absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, my son.
So it's going to be at its biggest around 4:15, but obviously the sun hasn't quite set
Yeah.
yet.
Sure.
So really just after sunset is going to be the best time to, I can take that back. We'll put it over here.
I don't know how to turn it off.
Me either, apparently. So that's okay. We'll just hit the button a couple times. It'll do weird things.
There you go.
There we
Special
go. We got the
flashlight.
flashlight. But yeah,
Okay.
after sunset, that's
Now
when
we
it's
got
going
a
to
strobe.
be.
You got
No.
the strobe gone.
We're having a party. It's a rave.
It's the rave
a
party.
rave.
The super
There you go.
It's a super moon rave. Yeah.
That's what we'll do. And
You
of
should
course,
do that in the.
Oh, yeah, a rave in there.
We have a
there's
lot of
whole
ideas.
I say we've got lots of ideas.
We have a lot of
There's
ideas.
So many cool things.
have a
That's
minute.
like a whole other
Okay.
show that we'll have to do. But for tonight too, you talked about best viewing. We
Yeah.
talked about time. You don't even need anything special. You can go out, look at it. You can see that it's bigger and brighter. But if you've got a pair of binoculars,
Those are really fun, by the way.
these are like fun kids ones. But you just have to go outside, use binoculars. Don't look at the sun with binoculars, but look at the moon.
Jump scare!
And you're gonna see some really cool details.
Oh,
Just
neat.
with either the naked eye, you'll probably see it, but even with your phone camera these days, you can get some awesome
I was
photos.
gonna say I tried to do just take the last supermoon we had. It does not do it justice.
It
The
doesn't.
camera, you really need maybe like a specialty camera. Our photographers were out with our giant cameras. They got some incredible
Oh,
photos.
yeah.
But if on your iPhone, it's kind of hard to see.
So if you had a Samsung, not to do a plug, am I allowed to say that
boy.
on this one?
You can
But,
say whatever you want.
I do. Okay, good. Because my Samsung has a 100x zoom on it. I can get a
Oh.
decent picture of the moon. It's not probably what your Photog's got, but I got a pretty good
Don't
one.
zoom in on this. You're gonna look right to my pores.
10 seconds. When are you open? How do people buy tickets and
We're
come check?
open every day from Tuesday to Sunday. Tuesday to Sunday. We have shows every hour starting from 11, 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and then our 3 o'clock is free for anyone who wants to come and check out the dome so that they're able to see what they're,
The Dorrance Dome.
the Dorrance Dome, see what
Okay,
they're,
we're
see
back
what they're getting.
in 2 minutes.
Yep.
yeah. There are places in the USA where they are freezing cold. You know, it's great to look at, but after 2 or 3 days, you probably get tired of it. And this is why I think this is Wisconsin. This is why we see a lot of Minnesota and Wisconsin and Iowa and Oregon, Washington, all of Wyoming, all down here in our incredible weather. Des, look at that, would ya?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I mean, even the ducks are all huddled together over there on the side of that particular river.
No ice skating on that lake.
Nope. Yeah.
Not right now.
Correct. Yep.
Not yet.
But I mean, some of the scenes did you ever see those pictures from Rochester? Somebody was saying they had seen a live cam from Rochester.
Well, Anita was saying this morning, how much snow they were getting.
Yeah.
I didn't check in on them. Did we take a look?
I never saw it. No, I was wondering if you did.
You mean we just have to trust Anita?
Sure. I mean, she's not a meteorologist, but
No.
Anyway.
And I just go, well, yeah, it's probably just a typical day. You're, average 6 inches daily in the winter there.
Hey, so tell us a little bit about your morning. What's been going on?
Oh, it's been good. We went to St. Vincent de Paul.
I saw your report.
And they got a big donation from Kellanova, $7,500 to help feed people on this holiday season.
Oh,
and
that's
that's
so
obviously
great.
in conjunction with
So
the
great.
Fox campaign that we're doing, Feed the Need, along with Albertsons.
Mm-hmm.
So if you shop Albertsons Safeway and you can make a small donation, you can afford to do that at the checkout. Goes a long way.
I'm going to post about this tomorrow, but I was at my local Safeway store in East Mesa.
Mm-hmm.
It's like got this most small town feel. First, I bump into Jerry. He's the manager.
Oh.
Want to know, I haven't seen you here in a couple of weeks. Everything
You know
okay?
him by first name. He knows who you are, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
But then I met the most interesting fella, a guy named Mark from Chicago, who'd been having kidney problems for years. He was very willing to tell me his story. And he'd been on dialysis and just wasn't clearing that hurdle. He was always hoping for a transplant. So he moves here and moves to Mesa, like a lot of Chicagoans do, because the Cubs play in Mesa. And he meets some great folks at the Mayo Clinic, and they put him on the list. And after a wait, he got his transplant.
Wow.
He's
good.
3 years since it. And he's retired now, but he's living his life in Mesa. You guys will hear that whole story tomorrow. I'll show you the pictures.
Wow.
Super cool guy.
Good for him. That's amazing.
So I met two really great folks yesterday. Jerry, the manager, and Mark, the cool guy.
See, you're approachable when you're out, right?
Yeah.
So if folks see you, they
Yes,
can say
right? Are
hi.
you not?
No, yeah, I am.
Yeah.
And I would prefer people say hi instead of just stare.
Either
like it's
that
okay to
or
say
act
hi.
like I don't even know who you are. I'm like, hello, are you watching the right channel? Do you have YouTube?
Yeah, that too.
Let's talk about the big story of the morning, because we got the word overnight that an arrest has been made, and here is the mugshot. This was the story that sent shockwaves across the valley. We talked about it over the course of several hours yesterday, both on TV and here on our streaming show on YouTube. The guy, by the way, has now been identified as Fernando Gallegos. You can see him here on what they call the IA. That's the initial appearance before a judge. Prosecutors say that he's the man who killed a teenage seller, an online seller, and these are some of the pictures there. The crime scene tape was up, and the girlfriend was there accompanying. By the way, they have revealed the name of the victim when the gunshot rang out, Dominique Basinger. And so he was there with his girlfriend, and it sounded like they did everything right. They were going to do an online transaction in person. It was middle of the day, 11 o'clock in the morning, Tempe Marketplace, very popular spot. But, you can, I will just say there are places in that parking lot where you might be a little more remote. And then we had Tempe police on yesterday saying, look, if you can find an actual business where there are going to be a lot of people, do that. And they're not opposed to people coming to a police station to do an exchange.
Yeah. And I know when we spoke to Jessica from Tempe Police yesterday, I didn't want to question her or, obviously it was so early on in the investigation, but like she said, pick a populated place, a good time of day.
Or just
and it's like,
ship
well, they did all of that. So that's a scary thing.
I know.
But I did like the point that she made when you look at these transactions and what items are being transferred, there tends to be a trend.
a trend of.
Well, you're not getting it with the like strollers or mattresses, and then in this
where
case,
there's a
we
gun
learned
involved.
that it was an exchange of a money and ring for a gun.
I wonder.
Then
I know.
you know, gets dicier.
Yeah, it does. I mean, when you introduce a gun into the situation. So I don't know. I've never heard of a case quite like this where it appears the very gun the guy was trying to buy and maybe was seconds away from purchasing it was actually used in the commission of the crime.
Yeah, how eerie would that be?
Yeah.
Right. And just remember, too, if you're doing this, if you're exchanging items, it is the holiday season, to do that at a police station.
Yeah.
We heard from Tempe Police yesterday. They welcome that, and, you know, that is definitely an acceptable place to.
Yeah, I was talking to another reporter in our newsroom, and she said, you know what, that's very commonplace in New York. They do it like that all the time. Hey, we're going to bring Bella in. I know I told Dave that we weren't going to have a 3-shot, but we are, Dave. We are going to have a 3-shot. Going to have to get Dave back out here. Well, he asked me, do you have any guests today? And yeah, so... we will. We're just glad you're hanging out with us, that's for sure. And we hope to find out a little bit more about this court case, Des, that had so many people talking over the last couple of days. So Isabella is our, she could literally cover anything, I'm telling you that. Everything from weather to the kind of entertaining stories. But today we've got you on a serious one, and you've been monitoring this Brian Walsh murder trial.
Yes.
What have you been kind of hearing and seeing today?
Yeah, well, the trial started on the 1st, and basically Brian Walsh is on the stand because he's being accused of killing his wife, Anna Walsh.
He says he just bumped her. He went downstairs to clean the kitchen, came back up, and she's dead.
Yeah, so she was last seen New Year's Day in 2023, and prosecutors are saying that there's 2 really big motives that they could have against Brian. Brian was probably angry because his wife was allegedly having an affair with a man in D.C. where she was commuting to for work each week.
Which is so easy to accuse somebody of that when they're gone.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then second, he was already being investigated for an art fraud charge. He was allegedly selling counterfeit art. And so he figured he might have a better chance of not being charged if he was the only sole, living parent of their 3 shared children.
Okay. Go ahead and set up this sound from court today.
Yes, so the soundbite that I chose, this is coming from one of the responding police officers who came to the house, and he was the one who made the missing persons report. This guy. This was the big sound from this morning up until our stream started. So
what did he say, if anything, when you arrived?
He wanted to file a missing persons report for his wife.
What was his demeanor?
He was calm, collected.
And was this interaction that you had with him recorded?
It was not.
And did he say why he wanted to report his wife missing?
He contacted her workplace, and they had not heard from her, and he had not heard from her in a few days.
What did he tell you about the last time that he had seen her?
It was on January 1st, 2023.
What, if anything else, did he tell you?
That it was the morning between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. Before she took a flight back to Washington, D.C. for work.
Did he say what he had done to contact her?
He had tried to call and text her, and also was reaching out to friends and coworkers in the D.C. area.
And did he say whether or not this was typical behavior?
It was not.
So, we keep following it, but this the stuff that came out yesterday, Bella, of his Google searches.
Very disturbing.
Really?
One of the troopers testified that he ran days of searches on dismemberment and DNA cleanup.
Specifically, he asked Google, how do you saw a body in half, correct?
Correct.
There were so many things.
So many things.
Can I use bleach to clean my wood floors from bloodstains? What does bleach do to dead bodies? Can the FBI tell when you accessed your phone how to saw a body? I mean, none of these searches look good. I mean, great evidence for the prosecution. But what's so interesting about this case is that obviously he pled guilty to improper or misleading a police investigation,
Yes.
obviously filing this missing persons report and then disposing of a body. But the first degree murder charge, they're thinking that could be difficult.
Yeah.
Without a body in this case.
Yeah, and you mentioned the dismembering and the disposing of a body. He was looking up different apartment complexes in their area, and then he was later caught on camera for disposing different bags in different garbage cans at various apartment complexes. And then DNA search came back, and obviously they found his wife's body parts in those bags. But yeah, he claims that he did not participate in the murder, just of the disposing of her body. But he claims he did not kill his wife.
I know, and I think it just gives me goosebumps. He says, right, I come down and she just died, and I didn't want anybody to assume that I killed her, so I got rid of her body. Yeah. I mean, that is not the actions of a loving husband in any case. And there is some allegations too that he was searching adult videos of women having affairs.
Yes.
And searching the gentleman's name that he believed was having an affair with his wife.
And then he told officials that he was unaware of the alleged affair. But you're right, all of his internet searches totally, dismantle his claim of not knowing.
Wow.
Yeah, what a case.
Bella, I mean, seriously, she's working on the 10 a.m. show, the 11, the 11:30, covering all that. In the meantime, watching this court case for us because people are very interested in it.
I know. We'll keep you posted. Yeah. I'm sure we'll be following it closely.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Before we go to break, let's update you on our poll question. You can grab the QR code. We would love to get your opinion on this. So a Republican won by 9 points in a Tennessee district, kind of in Dez's old neck of the woods out there in Nashville. Yeah, but it went for Trump by more than 20. So is the GOP in trouble? 28% say, yep, it's going to be bad for them next year. 71% say no. Everything that he has put into place will finally start paying off next year. How's it looking on YouTube, Des?
And then the shift here, we've got 2,000 votes. 57% say yes, 2026 will be bad. 31% no, they think everything will be just fine. 12% they're saying it might be a close call.
Okay. So keep voting, that's for sure. And coming up after the break, this man.
Dave Cam.
But first, here's our mystery cam. We'll be right back. Oh, gosh, we've got several New Mexico guesses, including Mr. Paul Volin himself. Brandon likes New Mexico. And let's see what else. Oh, Mr. Paul Volin also I see in Oregon. Low philosophies, like I'm going with Oregon. What do you think, Des?
B. Miguel's thinking New Mexico. Jenna, Utah.
I like Melinda. She second guesses as she's guessing. Missouri probably doesn't even have mountains, but I've never been anywhere, so here we go. What do you think?
Go with B. Miguel.
New Mexico?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm
looking at all those mountains there, and it reminds me, I hope I'm right here, of the beautiful, beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains. So I'm going to go Virginia.
Ron,
let's go see.
That's correct.
Here we go.
It's Lynchburg.
Yeah. Okay. I thought so.
Yep.
I think I've seen this camera once before. Let's go back to it. I think that's Liberty University. So I was there. It was founded by Jerry Falwell back in, what would that have been, the 1970s or 80s? And we went back there and interviewed him, and he was really a nice fella. Anyway, Liberty University is now, they've become sort of a power in the group of 5 or the group of 6
you're
college
probably
football
right, because that
stadiums.
looks like the tower. Yeah.
It's so beautiful. It's ridiculous. That's Lynchburg then. And there was a popular anchor man here in Phoenix for many years who I lost track of him. Come to find out, he's teaching journalism at Liberty University.
Oh, really?
A guy named Bruce Kirk.
Oh, cool. Was that his alma mater too? Or
I don't think so. I'm not quite sure how he
that's cool.
landed that job, but yeah, good for him. All right, so we welcome you back, ladies and gentlemen. We had a couple of technical issues, but they're all ironed
Hello.
out.
Can you hear me?
Oh, loud and
we got
clear.
Beautiful.
The mic sounds great.
Simone and the engineers did a great job back here.
Thank you, Simone. Okay, what are you seeing, Dave, for comments?
Lots of comments. As you saw on YouTube, we have almost 2,000 votes already, so pretty exciting. Robert in Surprise says Trump hasn't done anything to help the American people. Retail prices continue to increase, and gas has not come down. Fred in Glendale says it's only been 10 months, and already prices on most things are dropping. Illegal immigration is largely stopped. World trade deals and foreign investments skyrocketed. He's doing exactly what he promised. Linda in Phoenix says, I wish people would take a moment and realize instant gratification isn't a thing. It's been 9 months. Take a breath. Let the policies start to work. Same with the economy. Jules 6861 says, not only has he not fixed it, he's lit it on fire and watched it burn. Time for some new blood in the Republican Party that's willing to stop pointing fingers and placing blame, but will roll up their sleeves and do something that will help the American people. A lot of really interesting comments on this one. Keep them coming, guys.
Thank you, Big D.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah. Okay, so once again, there's the QR code. We'd love to know what you think, or you can vote on YouTube as well. Let's talk, Des, about trying to figure out a way to make the food budget stretch farther. This is super cool what's happening at IHOP.
Yes, I love this, especially as a mom of 4.
Yeah.
So this was important, I felt like, to share with folks, even if you take your grandkids, whatever.
Yeah.
But IHOP is bringing back their Kids Eat Free deal. It's 2 p.m. to 10 every day. And all you have to do is order 1 full-priced adult entree, and then you'll get 1 children's menu item for free. And that's great.
There's something about
children under 12.
There's something about IHOP when you sit down in that booth. It just engenders cool conversation. For years with my dad, I would meet him on a Saturday morning. We go get waffles. We both love the IHOP waffles. And he would tell me stories from the war, from the Korean War, that he'd never told me before.
Oh.
We had all these really great times. And it's the same, I'm sure, when you guys take your kids or when we take our grandkids, you just start talking.
Yeah.
In between all
Absolutely.
the great food. So good for
and
them.
right, like going out for a family or like especially with young kids like we have, they get so excited.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's such a big deal for them.
Yeah.
Because I can just hear some folks saying, well, don't eat out if you can't afford to go. But that's just, that's not realistic. And I just love when businesses do at least a little bit to help families out. And So, yeah, enjoy. That's through December 21st.
Any hacks that you have found lately that maybe stretch the food budget? I got one, but you go first.
Well, I shop at Aldi, for one. That's about the cheapest grocery store I can find near the house, so it's easy to get to. Prices are good. Gosh, to make it stretch, it's hard because even though my kids are little, they're eating a lot. And I was just telling you, I said, I think my son's going through a growth spurt. Yeah. He ate a whole bag of meatballs the other night by himself. So I don't know. I'm not making it stretch right now because he's like tearing through the house. Yeah. I try to meal prep a couple different things like on Saturday, Sunday. So things are prepared and in the fridge.
Oh, I see you post
I try to get things that are versatile.
Yeah.
That way, like, so for example, I do like chicken sausage. One night it might be like with potatoes and like green beans, and then maybe like, not the next day, but the day after, I'll do like rice and veggies and put it in like a stir fry. Okay. So it's kind of the same like base, but the kids aren't bored of eating it. Yeah, right. So then that way the food doesn't go to waste.
Sure. I like that a lot.
Yeah. What are you doing?
So we, I was mentioning how I was talking to the manager at the local Safeway store. And at this particular store, they have a Starbucks inside. And behind the Starbucks, they have just like a little cafe, little tables. So yesterday, I was driving around with my grandsons. And we went to the deli. And Mason wanted to get a pre-made sandwich at Starbucks, which was $5. It's okay.
Okay.
But Riley,
every once in a while,
Riley and I got their chicken tenders, which are as big as your hand. I mean, one piece was enough to fill you up.
Yeah.
And they were $2 a piece.
Okay.
And so for the $4 that we spent and the $5 with Mason, we got some chips and stuff like that as well. But don't sleep on these grocery stores. And it's not just Safeway. Fry's has this. Yeah. Bashas has it. Or they got a little deli area there and they got some tables where you can sit at, have a good conversation. And, I don't know. I suppose total we probably spent about $12 for all three of us to eat.
That's not bad.
That was not bad at all.
Oh, and my other tip too, like if you are going to eat out, I know you like McDonald's. We do it because it's easy, right? I mean, it's hard to avoid. But downloading the apps for like places you like to eat at.
Oh, yeah.
To earn, whether it's like points or getting that free item, that's huge
well,
too.
Especially McDonald's. I tell everybody, if you're hitting up that drive-thru, go to the app because you're going to get every day. You're going to get.
I have another one too.
Okay, go.
Instead, sometimes like I don't order the kids if we go out an individual kids meal for all of them. Yeah. Because not one of them ever eats the whole thing. Oh, so just getting one entree, like on the adult menu, splitting it, that's generally does it.
Brilliant. I love it all.
I could talk this all day.
Funny enough, a few miles away from that Safeway store, there's a brand new library opening in another couple of days out in Mesa.
So beautiful.
It is really something. Let's take you there right now. This is in the Eastmark neighborhood, right around Ray Road, and we were there earlier this morning.
Morning, guys. Yeah, always a great, nice place to go, especially with kids. You can see they have a kid area over here. We have a child library. Also, one thing we want to point out, first of its kind for the area here, we have the sensory room. And we have Polly here this morning, so we're going to walk around. But since we're right here, let's first talk about this room. Tell us what's in here to really help these kids.
Sure. So this is an autism certified library, and this is our first of its kind in the Mesa library system. It's a sensory space. So what you can expect in here are thoughtfully designed colors and elements that kids and adults can come in to get a little bit of a break if you need that calmer space, and we have some privacy until you're ready to come back out and enjoy the rest of the library.
And then we have the children's area over here. Let's take a look. I love all the blues and everything. It looks very much like an ocean. Tell us about this space.
Yes. So one thing that we wanted to communicate with our children's area is that this is an active area for play and learning. We want to foster that idea of curiosity and learning. And so everywhere you look in the room, it's very intentionally designed. This blue wall that you see over to the side has some shadow and light play. And at the far end, we have what's called an Everbright that's used for spatial literacy. So everywhere you look, we'll have calming colors, but also bright that really draws you in and gives you something to look at every turn.
And it's not just for the kids. We have books for teens, for adults too. Let's walk around and show off this space. What other kinds of books do you have? It looks like a lot.
We do. We have 50,000 items in this collection. 50,000. So this is our our teen collection. We're walking by our teen zone here. You can kind of get an idea of what our teens are going to experience. We have Super Smash Brothers up here. We have a gaming system. So we're not just books.
More than books, yeah. You gotta get the kids, reel them in too. And get them back to the books.
Exactly. And this is a way our kids socialize today. So we wanted to emphasize that and provide that opportunity. And then this is our adult collection here, our adult reading room. So we have also a stuffed prairie you see over here. You can check out different items that aren't books. We have a play in the park kit. We have a hiking kit. We have memory kits for some of our adults that might need that additional care. And we have sensory kits that you can check out, in addition to a lot of other options.
Stuffed prairie, I've never heard of that. That's really interesting. And also, too, we want to mention when this all opens and when people can come check it out. You have a grand opening this weekend. Yes. Tell us about that.
We have a grand opening at 10 a.m. on Saturday. We invite everyone out. We're excited to have the community finally experience this library in Southeast Mesa. We'll have characters for kids to meet, book characters, face painting, a bubbleologist, a band, other departments that will be here. So it'll be a lot of fun.
That is so cool.
What an incredible space.
Yes.
Like, what did you say as you were watching that?
I'm going.
Well, and you said how cool to design a library ground up.
From the ground up in 2025. Yeah, and you know, the thing is, right next door to it, they have where they do their every Saturday farmers market.
Oh, perfect.
And then they also have such a great this is out there in Eastmark. They have such a great playground area where they even have a zip line that's safe for pretty little kids.
Yeah. That's so good. Families are the foundation of a community. So I love seeing things like that.
Yeah. So way to go, Mesa. Cool, you got a cool guy running your Safeway store.
Jeff, right?
Jerry.
Yeah. Jerry. Okay, I was close.
Yeah, but good for them. You know, a lot of cities don't keep up with the growth. Yeah. I mean, around the country.
Right.
Here in the Valley, we really do. Mm-hmm. You know, so I think it's great. Any other thoughts, Des, before we say our goodbyes?
No. Well, what is your favorite? Okay, speaking of library, your favorite holiday book to read to the grandkids? Because we need one.
Well,
I gotta start
there are multiple versions of The Night Before Christmas, and we have like 3 or 4 of them in our playroom. Mm-hmm. So kind of whichever one the kids want.
Any version of that? Whatever they pick.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's literally whichever one they pick. But you can never go wrong with a Grinch. How about you?
I agree. Yeah, that one's good. Yeah. The kids love the Polar Express, too.
Oh, yeah.
But I must admit, Mama skips a couple pages, because when they want to read that before bed, I'm like, this is like a
it can get long.
45-minute reading session.
Come on, man. You're busy. It's already been a full day, for sure. All right, we're going to take our chance to say goodbye from beautiful Virginia, the Blue Ridge Mountains. Should we do it again tomorrow, Des?
Absolutely. Same time? Same place?
Thank you.